Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Allianceblock, aka Nxra. And listen, this is one of those tokens that I have talked about quite a bit in the past. And this is one of those big spotlighted projects that I think everyone should be looking into, at least right now, while it is under a $100 million market cap, because I do think that going into the next major cycle, I don't think that $100 million market cap is going to last too long. I actually think that Allianceblock is going to be an absolute giant in the next run-up. I think that as we look at tokenization, the convergence of traditional finance and DeFi, a lot of these great projects like Nxra, for example, are going to be at the forefront of that because they have been working on and developing solutions to allow that to become a reality for so long. And even going back to 2021, for an example, Allianceblock was one of my biggest picks. And it was a huge winner. It was a massive winner, from 20 cents to roughly $1.20. Didn't do too crazy of a run up, but it was late in the bull run. But it still did a very nice run up in 2021. And I do think that going into this next cycle, now that there's a lot more eyes on Allianceblock, I think that this thing is going to be much larger of a winner and really kind of shock a lot of people. And we're going to be talking about why. So let's dive into a few things. Let's actually look at the overall chart here. Let's go to the 1 year. Let's actually look at the 1 month just so that we could see a little bit more of what's going on here. First and foremost, most of these altcoins right now are hitting resistance. So we want to wait and see if we are going to push beyond resistance or if we are going to backpedal a little bit back down to support. Right now, personally, and I don't even need to open a trading view chart to see this, the major support or the area that I'm very interested in right now on Nxra is anywhere between roughly the 6 cent to the 7 cent zone. And if we do see that level being retested yet again, that is going to be a big opportunity to be buying into Nxra. But even right now, I feel pretty confident about accumulating Nxra. But the problem is that, as you guys do see back here, we are essentially trading right around resistance. So it's a question if, we are going to continue to break to the upside or if we are going to backpedal some nice support, which, like I said, support would be anywhere between like roughly 6.5 cents to about like 7 cents. But either way, as we look at the overall market for Allianceblock, ton of listing opportunity here. Binance, Coinbase, you already know. So some pretty big opportunities here for Nxra to be listed out on some major exchanges, which, like I said, during that time, it probably will get listed on some major exchanges. But outside of this, right, like outside of the markets, outside of the exchange listings and things like that, let's actually address a few things going on with Nxra. So first off, the token economy for Nxra is very, very vast. So what do you see? We have designed the token economics to ensure that the platform and the revenue growth correlate with increased utility and demand for the Nxra token. Remember, the total supply for this thing is literally sub 1 billion, which, by the way, is better than the original Allianceblock token. For those that don't know, basically there was a project that got exposed on the network, and basically ALBT, the original Allianceblock token, did see a lot of problems with that, and they decided to create a new token and actually cover the original holders of ALBT, which I thought the team handled that very well. It was a great way to show the confidence behind the team and what they could do, and how they really kind of work. So I thought that was pretty great to see. Obviously, it was not a great time in the market for ALBT holders, but hey, at least we got a glimpse into how serious the team is and how focused they are as well. But beyond that, we did see the tokenomics actually improve. Instead of 1 billion tokens, we got 850 million tokens. And the circulating supply is sitting at about roughly almost 90%. So token inflation is actually going to be pretty low on this token going into the next major bull run, which is also another major factor to fuel the price of this token when things really kind of start to erupt. But beyond that, another great thing to look at with the token ecosystem is the utility behind it. So there's 4 major things of token utility. You have the medium of exchange, which a lot of altcoins in the space do have that utility. You also have staking, you also have network fees, and you also have means of rewards. But beyond this, right, like the Nxra token itself is required on the network. And the network does have a ton of products already on it. If you guys do want to go check out the products, you guys are more than welcome to by going to the engage section on their website. And under this, you could actually see liquidity mining and staking, funders, bridge, data tunnel, and even the Nxra exchange. But beyond that, right, Nxra is one of those projects that are very interesting because of the utility behind it. It's also very similar to other products where I talk about how, we are seeing this tokenized economy essentially rising, and a lot of these major projects like Allianceblock are at the forefront of that. They have been at the forefront of that as well. So let's look into a few things. So tokenization is becoming a hot topic. Just recently, we've seen Singapore, Japan, UK, Swiss regulators plan asset tokenization pilots. Again, as we really kind of look at what's going on here, they are focused on fixed income, foreign exchange, and asset management products. These are three big areas. For an example, FX market, the foreign exchange market, $7.5 trillion per day. We know Allianceblock originally partnered with the London Stock Exchange group originally, and that was actually a big one to jump into like the equities market for tokenization. And even then, that was like roughly 2 years ago, I want to say now. Ever since then to now, we have seen the tokenization space really kind of light up. Because before even 2020, for an example, tokenization was talked about, but it wasn't as big of a topic that it is now. And even currently, as we look at tokenization, it is getting talked about quite a bit, but I don't think people realize just how big of an opportunity this is. We also recently seen tokenization of real-world assets gets a boost with the DTCC deal to buy blockchain startup Securrency. Remember that the DTCC is settling literally $2.5 quadrillion worth of securities per year. And again, securities will most likely be tokenized. We recently just seen HSBC partner with Medico actually on this for institutional grade custody of digital assets and securities, which we will be making a video about actually tonight regarding XRP and that topic. It's definitely going to be an interesting one. But beyond that, these are major players. These are massive giants in the traditional financial world. And this is all regarding institutional grade infrastructures regarding tokenization. Beyond this, we also seen this one as well. So the tokenization of real world assets essentially is going to grow to $10 trillion by 2030. We also seen a little bit of a discussion on this where this overall value was 16 trillion, then it was 30 trillion, 40 trillion. I mean, the numbers are crazy. But one thing that I've always said on this channel, and I kind of sound like a broken record when I say it, is that once this really kind of becomes a big trend in the institutional grade market, it's only going to accelerate faster than anyone could ever assume. Because again, the efficiencies, the benefits behind tokenization, it's unheard of in the traditional world. And it's also unlocking a ton of opportunity around major markets like, for an example, real estate, where it is an illiquid asset class, and it really needs tokenization in order for it to unlock the doors of vast potential. And this is a $300 trillion asset class, real estate is. So imagine how fast that market's going to catch on when it does start to happen. But beyond this, right, like they're talking about crypto converging with traditional finance. And ultimately speaking, I think that we are getting very close to that point in time where, we do see the application layer really kind of catch on. And again, this is going to be a 20 to 30 year time frame. Like they're talking about 2008 all the way up to 2020, which was 12 years. And we're still not yet at that turning point, but we are getting very, very close, right? And as we look at that, right, like the next level, the paradigm shift, if you will, is these massive institutions diving deep into these massive solutions and tapping into these crypto opportunities like tokenization in order for them to unlock a ton of trapped capital, make illiquid asset classes liquid. And, again, there's so much vast potential behind the space that, again, we're still not yet seeing really kind of reaped in terms of the rewards. So I'm looking forward to seeing the institutions and the giants of the traditional world tapping into crypto, especially tokenization as a service, because that's where Allianceblock really kind of comes into place, because I do believe that Allianceblock is at the forefront of that. And even originally, the viewpoint of Allianceblock was to be that bridge between traditional finance and even DeFi. Remember, that was their original viewpoint, to converge these two markets and allow for every aspect of this move to be able to be made through Allianceblock, because you already have all of the KYC, the compliance layers, the legal and compliance layers. Then you also have the DeFi sector converging with the traditional finance sector. And this could all be done through Allianceblock because they literally wanted to be the infrastructure layer for this. And again, like, we are seeing everything change. And we even see here, right? Like, they were talking about capital markets, because this is not new, by the way. Like, this page on Allianceblock's website, this is not new. I remember this from 2021. But this section here got me really thinking back in 2021, which was the new generation of globally compliant capital markets. Do you remember what Larry Fink from BlackRock literally said? He said that the new generation, the new opportunity regarding stocks and equities was tokenization. We do see here the Allianceblock ecosystem is designed as a multifaceted platform that enables its members to issue, transfer, and own tokenized and or digitized assets. It is an open ecosystem that allows any entity to create assets and applications without the need for approvals from centralized trust authorities. It uses human and machine intelligence to harness the wisdom of groups in decision-making and governance. And again, this is all through tokenization and digitalization of assets. Again, this is where I truly believe Allianceblock is going to shine in the real world, especially as we start to see the convergence of traditional finance and DeFi through tokenization, for example, because tokenization is probably going to be the big bridge. And then after that, we will start to see other major solutions around crypto really kind of be focused on as well. But outside of this, like, we already know that Allianceblock has a vast roadmap in front of it. 2023 has been an incredible year for a lot of projects, and Allianceblock definitely did see some great updates outside, of course, of the ALBT being exposed through the DAO. But again, you know, they did bounce back pretty strong with that. And we've seen some pretty big announcements this year already. But beyond this, what I'm really looking at is upcoming, because this is where we start to see some pretty big things happening. So in terms of the key category here, we see mobile support, which I think is going to be a game changer. Nxra ID integration, Funders 2.0, DEX 2.0, Bridge SDK 2.0 release, Data Tunnel 1.0, Community Form Builder, Visual Query Builder, Claros integration, Avalanche Subnet. Then, of course, up here, you know, we don't have anything just yet, but we are going to see some new upcoming things within these categories, like the ecosystem and governance. But these are some pretty big updates. We've heard about some of them in Twitter Spaces. I've seen Allianceblock actually tweet out regarding some of these. I'm very excited for the future here. This has been a team that has been unfazed. Like I said, they have gone through a pretty rough year this year with, of course, ALBT being exposed, but they have bounced back and they have been building pretty strong, and they have been very vocal about it. By the way, just full transparency, because I know that I'm going to get asked a question in the comments, am I sponsored or anything like that by Allianceblock? No, I'm not getting paid to make these videos or anything like that. I just think that Allianceblock is a very interesting and a very incredible project that could be a massive winner in the next run up, especially as we do start to see tokenization becoming a much larger hit, and also the convergence of DeFi and traditional finance really kind of heating up, which we've seen so far. But let's talk about a few things, because Allianceblock ALBT back in 2021 in the bull run, it hit about roughly $1.23. This was only a market cap of roughly almost $300 million. And the supply was a lot different at that time. If we have that same supply today, it's only a gain of about 339%, roughly a 36 cent Nxra token. I think that with everything that we know about Nxra, with everything that we know about the team behind Nxra, and with what we see happening right now in the real world, I actually see ALBT becoming a major winner in this next run. And I could actually see the overall market cap for this thing hitting about 1.6 billion to roughly 3.1 billion, an upside of roughly, if we go back, a 23x to roughly 47x return, a $2 to $4 Nxra. I think that this is pretty conservative as well, because we could very well see ALBT be a much larger winner. I mean, we're talking sub $10 billion market cap for a huge utility gem. So if we're looking at that, you know, could Nxra, for example, hit $10, which would still be a market cap of sub 10 billion? Yes, it could. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if ALBT did, but I'm really kind of looking at this. Guys, catch that? I called it ALBT. I'm just so used to it. But listen, nonetheless, when we look at Nxra, I do think that it could hit some of these higher value targets. I'm just being a little bit more conservative, and I'm being a little bit more realistic with it. I think that ALBT is incredible. I think that it's great. I don't know if there is enough substance to push it to some of these higher valuations, but again, if we start to see major listings, if we start to see major adoption, if they continue to hit the milestone launches of some of these great applications and developments, then I do think that ALBT could hit, $10 billion plus in market cap. But we need to wait. We need to be patient. We need to make sure that we are being very cautious and vigilant and taking profits on the way up. Because again, if we're talking about that $2 to $4 price prediction, we're talking roughly a 23 to almost a 50x return on ALBT. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.